Hi everybody, it's Heidi. I'm at the Middletown Senior Center, and today the craft of the day is going to be the fall painted sign. So when you receive your package, it's going to come in a big brown bag, shopping bag, reusable. We love that. And inside we're going to have some instructions. We're going to have some printed out ideas and little stencil things that you may choose to cut out or try to trace or just mimic on your own. We're going to have a circle with a hole in it and some string. This is your sign. Pretty cool. And you're going to have a container of this background color, which I don't know how well that translates online. It's kind of a creamy, almost flesh color, but yeah, it's cute. And last but not least, you're going to have a package of these paint pots and a brush. What you're going to want to do before you get started, of course, I keep saying this with every single project, is protect your surface, protect your clothes. You might want to take off your jewelry. The paints that we're using should wash off of your skin and jewelry, but I'm not so sure about your surfaces or your clothes. So if it's something that you really don't want to have ruined, you might want to take advantage and get that fixed up. So I've done a couple of things off camera because, you know, nobody wants to watch paint dry. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. So I will show you that I have gone ahead and painted my base color and allowed that to dry so that we could come back in and start the fun part. So that's what you're going to do first. You're going to protect your area, you're going to protect your clothing, and then you're going to paint your base color on your sign and allow it to completely dry. That way you're not, you know, balling yourself up with stuff. It took, I don't know, a half an hour maybe for it to dry, so I was just doing other stuff in between. But, so this is what it looks like painted. And, sorry, this is what it looks like painted. So I went ahead and did that, but then I also have gone ahead and drawn very lightly. I don't know if you can see that. So I've drawn very, very lightly on the sign with a colored pencil that is a pale enough color that it won't really show too much. I would suggest like a yellow or an orange. If you want to do that, you could use a regular pencil too, so you could erase it, but do it with very, very fine lines, light, so that you can either erase it or paint over it, as the case may be. So again, included are these little things that you might choose to emulate on your own sign. And these are some things that you might want to cut out and trace around, or just use as like an example to eyeball what you might want to do. Also on the instructions, there are examples of different things that you might choose to do. And don't be shy, go on the internet. You'll find all kinds of fun stuff if you do that. What I have done is my own little favorite saying, autumn is my favorite season in the year. I love it because I don't like being hot. So when summer is over and I'm not sweating like a man, then that makes me happy. So that's the first thing. And then it's just so pretty. I love the fall colors. I love what happens in nature. I know it's supposed to be like the death of everything, but it's really just beautiful to me. I love the leaves changing colors. I love the pumpkins. I love the Indian corn. I love the apple cider, everything, and pumpkin spice stuff. I'm just a fall girl. So I put on my flannel for this project too, because I thought it was cutesy in fall. But some people, you know, some ladies look super cute in their flannel, and some of us look like we're going to cut down a tree or something. And that's kind of how I feel a little bit today, but whatever, we're gonna have fun. So I have gone ahead and wrote my favorite saying on here. Autumn is my favorite color. That's my saying. And then I also drew on a couple of leaf shapes and an acorn shape. So I'm just going to get busy on getting that painted out. And I'm going to tip this down because it's not too much fun to look at my face and not see what my hands are doing. So here we go. I also brought with me, this is just a handy dandy used yogurt container that I have filled with water for rinsing the paintbrushes in. You might want to keep a pair of scissors handy for cutting. And also I said that I had a colored pencil, so I used this to very lightly sketch out my design on my sign. So I am going to start at the top and work my way down so that I'm not running my hand over wet paint at any point. But certainly if you want to do this, take time at your home. If you only feel comfortable doing little parts at one point, or you're inspired in one area and then you kind of build your inspiration off of that, that's great. You might want to just give the paint some time to dry in between what you're doing. So I am going to start with orange and yellow. So I'm going to open up 2 different paint pots. And these are my favorite colors. The autumn palette is my favorite thing to work with. And I like to break every single rule known to man when I'm working and blend colors and just, you know, put your own stamp on things. Oh my goodness. So of course, because we're doing the video, I can't open it, but here we go. Okay. I'm going to work my brush, and I'm going to start with a light color and then build on up. So there's a lot of yellow in some of the fall leaves that happen. So I'm going to start with the yellow and outline. And the fun thing about this is that, you know, if you are not the world's best artist, it's absolutely fine. So I sketched this on with my orange colored pencil, and you know, as you're drawing, you realize that's not quite what you want. That's fine. You can make up for it with the paint when you get there. So I'm going to start adding a little bit of orange in here. And also, the beauty part of that is because I use an orange pencil, which is a strong autumn color, then it blends in with the finished product a lot better, so that, you know, even if it shows a little bit, it's not going to have a huge impact on your finished product because it's part of the landscape, which is awesome. What did Bob Ross always say? You know, it's a happy little accident. So plan your accidents accordingly. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be too fussy here because it'll just take too long. So I'm going to try to pick up the pace a little bit here. So more yellow on one side and more red on the other. And the red is helping me to conceal the pencil mark. Very cute. Okay, and then give this puppy a stem of some sort. Let's see, we got some brown up here. Oh, golly. Might even blend some of this brown down into the leaf. Kind of fun. That's fun. Okay. And then I think I'm going to do a combination of colors for my lettering. So black is a good strong color to do the back, you know, to outline it with. But I think I'm going to go back over it and give it some more autumn color. So, and lettering is super duper tough, which is another good reason to draw it out ahead of time, because paintbrushes aren't always the best tool. But don't let that discourage you. Oops, lights went out. Don't let the paintbrush intimidate you. You are the master. Okay. Don't be super worried about it, because you can always go back and pretty it up. But it really does help if you are doing lettering on your sign to have it on there in advance. You know, you want to space it out. Maybe draw it out on a piece of paper first, and then space it out on your actual signboard. That way things aren't, you know, crowded together. You want to make sure your spelling is good. Come on, you guys, you can laugh at that one. You know it's me. And I can't spell to save my life. So yes, I use the internet for every single thing. And cursive. Cursive is fun with a paintbrush, isn't it? But you know what? I thought this could be like a trick for the young people of today, where nobody knows how to write in cursive. And this could be like a secret code. But certainly, if you are more comfortable with printing, do that. Or if you don't want to have any words at all, that's fine too. I saw some really, really cute ideas with pumpkins, with little ghosties, little pictures of candy corn or what have you. This is amazing. Obviously, I'm doing this a little bit faster than I hope you do it at home, because nobody wants to just sit there and watch me paint. You want to get to it yourselves. And that's great. But when you're doing this at home, really take the time to enjoy what you're doing. Don't speed through it like I am. You know, really savor your moments. So we keep saying that 2020 has been such a challenging year for everyone. And it's super important to take time to do things that really feed your soul and make you happy. And I find being creative to be a big part of that for me. So I love doing these projects with you guys, but I also do them at home. Not these projects specifically, but I like to do crafty stuff at my house, garden, in the kitchen, whatever. Just because it makes you feel good, you know, to have that creative process going and to have something to show for it at the end, even if it's not a masterpiece, that's fine too. You know, there's no judgment in art. So here's where I ran into problems, was with my writing and having my Y interrupt my C on the different lines. So I'm changing it up on the fly. Another idea might be, instead of trying to paint the letters, wait for all your paints to dry, you know, for whatever design you're doing, and then do it with a Sharpie or something. You know, a nice chisel tip Sharpie would give a beautiful effect. Or if you've done some of our other projects in the past and you had the paint markers or something left over, use those. That would be a fantastic idea. So naturally my hand is shaking because I always manage to be hyper caffeinated when I'm trying to do these things. And then my hand shakes like crazy. But so here's my sign. My words anyway are painted on there. I'm going to let the black dry and move on to the next thing. So at the bottom, I've got a couple of oak leaves and an acorn. So I'm also going to try to work in a logical progression, so I'm not running my hand over what I've just painted. So I'm going to work from left to right because I'm right-handed, but you know, do what works for you. So I'm going to use some of this brown. And again, the brown is good because it will cover up the orange of the pencil that I was writing in. But, you know, take the time to enjoy what you're doing, first and foremost. Always do that. But if you don't really like the way your drawing came out, you have a second opportunity to correct it by using the paints to do that. These are so handy dandy, these little paint pots. Dan has really stepped up to the challenge as far as, you know, helping us get all of these activity kits put together, coming up with fantastic ideas, and finding all of the materials that are needed, you know, to in a bulk situation or in a presentable format that works well for people at home, you know, for us to distribute it and for you all to do it at your homes. She has really knocked it out of the park as far as I'm concerned. You know, I can't give her enough accolades on that. There's so much going on behind the scenes here that you would never be able to imagine. Trying to put all of this together on such a large scale for so many people in a timely manner. It's a lot of work, but it's the work that we do, and it's very rewarding. It's very gratifying to know that what you're doing has a positive impact on somebody else. So, you know, it makes it all worth it to be able to do these things. if you want to look at 2020 on a positive note, which is really a challenge to do in and of itself, it has really forced us all to look at what we do and how we do it, and to be creative and inventive enough to find other ways of getting things to happen, things that you need to have happen. So I find that pretty cool, actually. You know, if you look at it as a challenge that you're going to rise to and overcome, rather than all the things that you can't. You know, it's so easy to say I can't, or we can't, or they can't. But when you look at it in the other way as a challenge of, well, how can we? How can we make this happen? How can we do the thing? It puts a whole different spin on stuff, and it's not quite so depressing. You know, when you're looking at ways to be have an effect on something or an impact on something, you know, as opposed to taking a defeatist stance on things. So, anywho, it's good times. All right, that's my philosophy for the day is, you know, look at it as a challenge instead of the negative, because that's just too easy to do. You gotta work a little harder, find the positives, and find how you respond positively to a negative situation or a challenging situation. I happen to really love oak leaves and acorns. I feel like that somewhere in there, I think there's a history with oak leaves and acorns being a representation of wealth, I think. I don't know how that got started, but I think they're pretty cool. I like acorns. It's a pretty cool fall thing, and I used to like to collect them when I was a kid, collect acorns and try to do stuff with them, or imagine that I was working for the forestry department and planting new trees, or painting them, painting the acorns, drawing little faces on them and stuff. It was fun. Okay, so that's one. And then I got to do my acorn. All right, I'm going to do orange to start with, and then darken it up with some of the brown. And here's again where I'm using the paint to correct drawing errors, which is so much fun. I hope that you all are taking the time really to enjoy what you're doing and to enjoy the season for what it is. You know, I know it makes some people sad because it's the end of summer and the beginning of long, cold months. But there's also a lot of fun to be had in this season. So I really hope that you take the time and find some of those things that make you happy and participate. I know one of the projects that is also going to be coming out is a fall activity bucket list. And I think that's going to be a fun one to do. but you know, it'll give you some ideas as to different activities that you might choose to do to help yourself enjoy the time. You know, and it's easier to get out of doors when you're not sweltering hot, and you know, even if it's just to take a drive and check out the foliage, or you know, go past a stand that's selling pumpkins and cider and what have you. I think Lyman's gets their apple cider donuts going during this time. You know, you might want to choose to take a trip out to the orchard and do a pick your own, make some pies. And if you don't feel like making your own, you can buy one and just enjoy it, you know? Just take time to do the things that make you happy. It's so important. Okay, now I'm going to do this a little bit darker for the top of my acorn. Ooh, that's pretty. I thought this was like a dark gray. It's almost like a silver. But to mix it in with the brown, I think will be really pretty. Trying to draw the cap on it. And my hands are shaking, which is just making this more of a challenge. I know I'm not alone in that. A lot of people's hands shake, so just gonna take it in stride. I hope you guys are taking some time to watch all the videos that are coming out. Let me tell you, we have been having as much fun as anybody can have doing videos. You know, it's always awkward to see yourself on camera and not know exactly how it's going to translate, and trying to, you know, figure out what you're going to say and how you're going to say it and all that fun stuff. But that being said, we get hysterical. And, you know, we try to clean up the videos for you guys viewing them, but before they're cleaned up, they are a riot. And let me tell you, we really should do some outtakes videos just for ha-has, because they are so funny. All of the mistakes that we make, saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, and you know, little things that happen accidentally while you think you're doing something fantastic, and then you look at it afterward and you go, oh my God, what in the world just happened here? And my acorn looks more like a pointy pumpkin, but that's okay too. All right, and now I'm just going to do my last oak leaf over here. Trying to make sure I'm still on camera over here. Some of our friends have been telling us how they are watching these videos through their televisions, so that it's a bigger, much bigger picture. I can only imagine how ridiculous we must look, larger than life in people's living rooms. But I think it must be pretty funny. Maybe you guys could have like viewing parties or something and even do it remotely. You know, call each other on the phone and, hey, we're going to watch whatever video today, and make the popcorn and call each other on the phone and watch it at the same time. I'm sure you guys would get a bunch of laughs out of that. We are ridiculous. I particularly especially enjoy watching the videos with the cooking going on with Laura and Ann and Sean or EJ and Olivia. They are so funny. Oh my goodness. They really crack me up. So, oh my gosh. So in the middle of all of this, the computer went to sleep. Okay, good times. Like I said, it just happens. The things just happen over here. So much fun. So yeah, the computer went to sleep while I'm working. I guess I'm boring. I'm so boring, even the computer fell asleep. Oh, God bless America. Okay, all right. So, I don't even know how do you recover from that. I have no idea what's happening here, if this is working or not, this video. But we'll find out, won't we? So I want to put some green in here because we still see some green on leaves that are falling. Not everything is a solid color or whatever. So I'm going to fade in some yellow. Holy moly. Okay. Almost done. Okay. Perfect. 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 All right. So that's that. My lettering is still a little bit damp, and obviously my leaves are still damp, but I'm going to try to go back and just give my lettering a little bit of a, I don't know, a highlight or a shadow, whatever you want to call it, by giving it some color. So I didn't use much red. I think I'm going to throw some red in there. And, oh golly. Just gonna try to follow the line a little bit. And add what could be a shadow or a highlight, just to give it a little bit more sun. Okay, so that's one. Do the same with green on the A, just to kind of bring some of that green over to the other side. So I'm just going to do a thin line right next to it, maybe overlap it a little bit, and try to stay to the same side. So I did it on the, oof, my hand. I did it on the outside of that first leg of the A, so I'm going to do it on the inside because that would be on the same facing side. And on top here. Okay, so that's that. And then I'm going to use orange and do the C. This is a little challenging because I have just painted these things, so they are still wet. Ta-da! So this is my sign. Okay, this is my sign. That just happened, yeah. Autumn is my favorite color. I tried to use all of my favorite autumn colors in there. The beauty thing about this is that we've got the one hole in the top with the string for hanging it, which means that you could, oh my God, this camera keeps being silly on me. Oh boy, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? So it's paint, you could paint it on both sides. I haven't done that, but you can certainly do that at home. You could do an autumn on one side and a winter on the other, or you could do one that's specific to Halloween and Thanksgiving on the other. Whatever makes you happy, do that. Or if you don't want to do anything seasonal and you want to go off in your own direction, rock out with your bad self. Anyway, I hope that you have a great time. I hope this video actually worked because it's really being a little bit silly on me right now. So who knows?